Today is kind of like a difficult video to talk about. I've been putting this one off for kind of a while just because it's a lot. It's a lot of like emotion and a lot of feels. But I think that I'm like ready now. Like I keep thinking about it and I just want to kind of just go there and talk about it and see where it goes. So today is day 11 in the fear challenge videos, where I'm doing a fear challenge video for the 30 days of Halloween. I'm going to be talking about my fear of being homeless again. So the reason why this is such a very touchy subject for me is because if you know me in real life and you know this about me, I come off as very strong because I don't want to ever come across as if, oh, you know, poor me, pity me. I really don't want pity in my life. And I'm not saying that we're going to be homeless or anything, or that I'm even worried about that, but it is a fear that if that ever happened, I would feel like a failure. I'd feel like an utter failure. Being homeless is really difficult, especially when you have friends, you have family, but even reaching out to them, there's nothing there. And for me in particular, my pride and my respect for myself gets in the way of a lot of stuff. So like even if I ever was homeless, I probably wouldn't say anything, or even if I did say anything, I'd be very proud of it and relish it almost, which is like really stupid. But I refuse to have people look down upon me for something that sometimes you have no control over, okay? Sometimes stuff happens. Sometimes life gets really hard and it gets really shitty and you just have to deal with it. And I'm one of those people where it's like, if you give me the challenge that I have to deal with something, I will fucking deal with it. And so even if I did end up being homeless again, like, you damn be sure that I'm going to kick it in gear and I'm gonna do what's necessary, and I will get through that time of life again, and I'll come up and I'll raise out of the ashes stronger than ever, better than ever, and be able to literally stand up in front of everybody and be like, I did this myself and I had no help from anybody. And that's literally what it is for me, is that I will do this myself and I will have that badge of honor upon me that I'm the one that got me out of this mess. Got myself into it and I'll get myself out of it. I feel like, you know what, we just need to talk about certain things that we don't feel comfortable with. If we talk about those things, then they have no power over us. And then it becomes, instead of a weakness, a strength. So yeah, I was homeless. I lived out of my car for almost a year. I lived out of boxes in my car. I got pulled over by cops thinking that I was selling drugs or something out of the back of my car because I had boxes in my car, because that's what was necessary for me to do. I had a sleeping bag in the back seat. I had a cooler in the front passenger seat where I put food in there. The food, that's all I had. I didn't have money for other stuff. And so literally had to eat rotten food because that's all I had. I worked 3 jobs at one point in time while also going to college. And then I ended up getting kicked out of college because I was living in my car. Because for whatever reason, the college, they wanted you to either be in a dorm or live with your parents. Well, I couldn't live with my parents. That didn't work out. And there were no dorms where I was living. So I was living in my car, and my teacher didn't like me, and so she got me kicked out from school. Instead of helping me, she put me in an even worse position, but I'm really glad that she did, because that literally made me go get a job somewhere else, and I ended up meeting the love of my life at that job. So sometimes the things that bring you to your lowest point, sometimes they are the best things to happen to you because they bring you to where you need to be. I'm very much a believer in fate, that if something happens to you here, it's because it's destined and that's what you need to go through to make you be the person that you are and to get you to the point that you're supposed to be at. In talking about this topic of being homeless and being worried that it happens again, it's not just about, for me, being homeless again. It's about, I now have a husband and I have a dog, and we've worked really hard to get where we're at now. My biggest fear that I have is losing all of that. And it's like, I've been homeless. I know how it is. You know what? I can deal, right? But I have other people that I have to take care of. And it very much weighs heavily upon my conscience that if we do fail, it's gonna be my fault. If we're homeless, it's gonna be my fault. I love every single one of you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you in my next video.